folks, welcome into each and every one of you. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. This is the Super Bowl preview show, which means it's not any different than any other show. I just call it that. Super Bowl preview. There was a time when the Super Bowl would start and, a half an hour before kickoff, they'd go live. Jimmy the Greek would predict the game. And then that's about it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I was reading that NFL football players. I was reading this sports writer, Jeff Pearlman, does these 25-minute pieces on various interesting stories from the past. He calls it the Press Box Chronicles. It's excellent. And he was talking about some NFL player, guy by the name of John Jefferson back in 1980. And he was like the best receiver in the NFL. And he was upset because he wanted more money. And so he was pissed off because the Chargers paid him $75,000 a year. Now, back then, that's a lot of money. I don't know what the average annual salary of the average American was in 1980. I'm going to guess $13,000 a year. Huh? Maybe? Average American salary, 1980. $17,700. With figures ranging slightly depending on the source. Census reports 21,020 for families. The national average wage index says $12,513. What? This is ridiculous. Well, anyway, he wanted more money, so he ended up going to getting traded to the Green Bay Packers. But he got his $200,000. Now he was making $275,000. I don't know how the hell I got onto that. That is where my brain is today. By the way, I'm starting later than normal, and I apologize for that. I'm kind of going in like 15 different directions right now. More on that in a second. First off, though, thank you to Impact Power Sports. They help make this all possible as do all of the sponsors. They're great for Yamaha golf carts, side-by-sides, ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles, go-karts, e-bikes, those giant one-wheeled things that you stand on either side of the wheel and go whipping around, selling aluminum siding on homes or new roofs or lawn care. I think they've given up on the Segways, and now they use those stupid one-wheel things. You can get one of those stupid one-wheel things at Impact Power Sports, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Yesterday, we did do a Big Fraud Thursday, but we got started later because I had a lot on my plate. And the folks who were on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast are already aware of this. But I've had even more time to process it. Benny is in intensive care right now. I brought Benny he's alive. He did okay last night, and I just got an update. His kidneys, he was entering kidney failure. His kidneys were failing him. And so he needed intense treatment at an emergency. I had to ambulance him from his regular vet to the emergency care vet because at the regular vet, they don't have 24-hour care. The emergency vet, Blue Pearl, does have 24-hour care, and that's what he needed. So off he goes. And he is okay. And I'm hopeful he'll make a full recovery. So his kidneys are failing. The doc, his regular vet, says, yeah, Eric, this is what's happened. So now I don't really have too much more to report on that about his overall health. But I left him there. I drove back. We did the show. And during the show, I revealed, because what they do for you at Blue Pearl is they actually give you an estimate of the cost. Now, honestly, if Benny croaked, I wouldn't be talking to you about the cost. But it's been a long-running storyline here on the show about, for several months now, I've had some enormously large vet bills. And I had to put it all into perspective when I spoke with Megan from Irvine's yesterday. I go, yeah, this is what we do. In my opinion, I feel like you can't have a pet and then when things get off the rails, you just cash in your chips. It's an inconvenience. It's too expensive. And in my opinion, you got to see this out. Okay? As Brett Bullbrain Chris writes, Kelly Cheese brought her puppy to Blue Pearl last night also. That would have been an interesting run-in. Oh boy. So that's my take on pet care. I know what I'm getting myself into. Now, when I revealed to the audience on Patreon the dollar amount that I will be paying, or that I've pretty much already paid, there was all sorts of, oh my God. But one fuck in particular, that would be Nick in the arena. Nick is of the opinion, because he's a fucking moron, Nick is of the opinion that my dog is really not sick and that it's all a scam. Like the whole thing, top to bottom. Now, here I am at the vet with the dog laying on my lap and is dying. I'm looking at the variables of the kidney function, and obviously I know a little bit about kidney function, being that I gave one away, so I had to be trained in that to some degree. But anyway, it doesn't matter if I was or I wasn't. The vet's explaining it to me in layman's terms about the various spikes in his creatinine levels and whatever it is, to show that his kidneys right now, he's of stage 4 kidney failure. And we got to turn this around, but he needs intense 24-hour care. So I go, all right, let's do it. So I rush over as fast as I can, and I get the dollar amount. And it's $7,500 is the cost. And they go, you don't have to pay it all at once. Only $6,500 is what you need to pay now. And I go, oh, well, Jesus, sign me up. So I didn't even hesitate. I'm not going to do that. And that's what Madison said. That makes me feel bad. I go, some people go on exotic trips. Some people buy sports cars. Some people buy motorhomes. We spend money on vet bills because we love our animals. We love the pets. That's it. And she goes, well, that actually makes me feel better. I go, well, good. It should. Nick claims the vet is lying. Nick in the arena claims he can cure my dog's kidney failure with a homemade concoction that he gets at Tractor Supply mixed into a bucket with like a can of beer in his garage for about $5. And I don't believe him. I think he's a fucking moron. I am going to I am going to assume that the vets aren't there. It isn't like they're just ripping me off. Intense, elevated care like this is expensive. That's the way it goes. My God. And so I'm there trying to explain myself. Well, people are fucking laughing in my, well, Nick in particular, laughing in my face. David says, screw that. Nick in Houston says, you are being fleeced by these vets. I disagree. Bob says the old Yeller treatment. Nick says, I called the cops on your vet. Nick and I have the same treatments for our dogs. No big vet bills for us. Yeah, whatever. You guys can say all the crazy shit you want. All right? But I am not in the business to just cashing in my chips. The animals in my house are very, very hey, quit it. Are very, very important. It'd be like just killing a family member. The only time that I'm going to euthanize a dog is when the dog or the cat is like the quality of life is bad, and the only reason why I would be keeping the dog alive is because for me, so that's why I choose to always take care of the dog. I would never let the cost. I'd mortgage my house. I would refi my house in order to keep the dogs alive as long as their quality of life is good. Nick says, I don't think they are scamming you, but I do think that they are overcharging you. So I looked into this a little bit. And let's see. Why is Blue Pearl Vet so expensive? Let's see. Expensive due to specialized emergency and specialty care like MRIs, CT scans, surgery, highly skilled and highly paid specialist veterinarians, advanced equipment, 24/7 staffing. And this might be part of it too. Corporate ownership by Mars Inc. So like candy bars, I guess, all contributing to higher operating costs than general practices offering complex treatments not available elsewhere. Key factors that are driving costs, pretty much what I was talking about, high quality facilities designed for complex critical care resembling human hospitals in some aspects. Essentially, you're paying for immediate access to top tier specialized medical interventions and around-the-clock care that standard veterinary clinics cannot offer, similar to paying more for emergency room care in human medicine. So that kind of puts it into perspective. You need pet insurance if you're going to keep getting pets. Have Rick punch the illness away. Is there Obamacare for animals? Yeah, for sure. And when I went ahead and when we got Darla, the bulldogs have a tendency to have medical issues, but she hasn't had a one. But when we got her, we did get coverage on her. Now, with these three other dogs that are older, it's would be very difficult and very expensive to get any type of health insurance on them. Pooh Bear did say to me yesterday, she goes, I think we're done with dogs. I think we're done with dogs. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? There is no way that that's going to happen. Now, I'll say this. Like, let's just say I waved a magic wand and all we had was Darla. Okay? Her life will extend another 10 years. Now, that puts your old pal Easy at about 65. I've said this many times before. I don't think that I'll ever have as many dogs. I think 2 is the max. Bruce became our third dog at the time, and I was like, I'm totally fine with that. And then the girls brought home Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, without asking permission. They just brought the dog home and just gave it. Here you go, take care of this dog, it's a very daughter thing in this household to do. Dad, we adopted this dog for you. Thanks. Bread Bull Brain Chris says that Darla is listening. Are you listening? Are you hearing all this? You know how good of an owner I am? I am the best dog owner. I am the best pet owner. You are so lucky. Megan is here. You just missed a long, drawn-out talk about the cost of the health care. And I explained to these idiots who do nothing but upset me when I talk about my dogs and the health care with Benny, the $7,500 bill. These assholes, Megan, are alluding to euthanizing the dog. They are saying I'm getting scammed, which is horse shit. I tried to explain to these idiots what is happening and why Blue Pearl costs what it costs. And, you got Nick here in the arena who actually, this dickhead, he's like, oh, yeah, no, he suggested yesterday on the Ben and Eric show that my dog is not sick and that they're lying to me. And that he can cure Benny's kidney failure by going to Tractor Supply and getting like some Tannerite and putting it into a bucket with hillbilly jizz and blending it all together and then making the dog eat it, and the dog will be cured. What a fucking moron. Nick says, this is why I go for medium-sized mutt dogs. They are indestructible and live forever. Benny is a medium-sized mutt dog, you dumb cock. My last dog lived 4 years longer than it should have. I didn't have more than $1,000 in vet bills in the entire 13 years. You are such a moron. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, your ad prices are going up, Megan. Megan says, okay, we love dogs. Cole says the dog behind him is mean mugging him after he said that we're done with dogs. Yeah, come on now. Nick says, let's make sure Black Belt Nick says, let's make sure Nick in the arena has no end-of-life control over anybody else on the planet. Okay, so now for this one, I actually had to go ahead and call Feudold. And I said, you don't know Feudold. He's behind-the-scenes guy. He's money guy. And I called him like, yeah, dude, we got to figure this shit out. I got a big vet bill. This bill's so big, I actually have to move some shells around in order to pay the bill. God damn it. But I'm saying God damn it, but I'm honestly, I just want the dog to live. That's all I care about, is the dog living. I can't deal with this. I don't have a problem with euthanization when the dog's quality of life is in trouble. If the dog's suffering, then I will euthanize a dog. I've never like kept a dog alive more than I should, because I would be sad to miss the dog. That's a wrong reason to keep a dog alive. Bob says back to limo driving. No, I don't have to do the limo driving anymore. That was a nice limo driving. I never had to do limo driving. I never had to work at Bosco's. I wanted to do those jobs. I was asked, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, I'll try it. So there you go. Megan says maybe Care Credit will be a sponsor. Hey, I'm always looking for new sponsors. Care Credit is it's a credit card for vets, is what it is. But I don't do credit on vet bills. I just pay it. I don't like looming interest debt. I like to just pay shit off, outside of a fucking motorhome I don't use, apparently. Which, by the way, I'm bringing it back. You know that, don't you? I am fully convinced now. I don't have a choice in the matter. Nobody's buying RVs that are of my year or any of those years because how poorly they were made by Thor. Right now, currently, the motorhome has nothing wrong with it. And I'm taking it out this spring, and I'm driving to Tennessee with the motorhome, which is probably going to result in some amazing content for you, the audience. I have gotten so much feedback from folks who have said to me, I love hearing about your problems with the motorhome. Becca Shea says, don't you think you should take it to a place closer to home for a little trip before you go to Tennessee? Well, I'm not going to Tennessee till like June, probably June, as Bob is leaving for work. Glad you're working, by the way. There are several little trips planned up to Fear Bunker North. Nick says, not just the motorhomes. We love hearing about all of your poor financial decisions. There are none. Name one. There are no poor financial decisions. I don't spend money. You know that? I just don't. I don't buy expensive clothes. I wear hoodies and sweatpants. I don't, outside of what the fuck I do, I have very little hobbies or anything that costs me money. The motorhome is the only thing, and that was an impulse purchase that now I cannot get rid of, so I'm stuck with it. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, you need to buy a drone and fly it over the range at Fear Bunker North. That's a great... No, they'll shoot it down. They'll see it, and then that's it. Rebecca says, bad financial decision is buying back the car you gave to Jackie. No, it is not. No, it is not a bad financial decision. Alan says, who are you trying to convince? You. Buying back that car is a sound financial decision. Megan knows a lot about that car. She says, I'd buy that car if Eric wasn't going to. It's an excellent running car. David says, buying the car twice is crazy. The problem with you morons is you don't listen to the words that I tell you. Every good mom or dad takes care of their kids. And being fair, each kid was given a gift of a car. I bought Madison a car. Here you go, honey. Happy graduation. I bought Jacqueline a car. Well, I bought that car and I gave it to her. It's yours. I gave my son a car. My son got a great car. Jim got a better car than the girls because he didn't go to college. So the car I gave him was like a $20,000 car. It was a beautiful Dodge Journey. Here, take it. I want you to have a safe car. He didn't have any money. Take the car. It's yours. So since it's her car, if I suddenly say, give me the car back, that is 100% not fair. So she goes, I need that car. She goes, why do you need that car? I go, because it's an excellent car to tow behind the RV. And I don't want to use that stupid tow dolly anymore. I want to tow it behind the RV, all four wheels on the ground. I want that car. She goes, I'll sell it to you. And I said, I'll buy it. Then the fucking thing had needed some work like 2 weeks ago. I go, I'll tell you what. I will pay for the repair. It's a $1,200 repair. It's with the cooling system that Nick said he could fix himself, Nick in the arena. And I said, okay, what do I need to do for you to fix it? And he goes, well, you got to go to Tractor Supply and get this dog medicine that I give my dogs to cure kidney disease. And then mix it up in a bucket with my semen and pour it into the radiator, and that will work perfectly. So then I said, okay, fuck you. Madison, Jackie took the cost of the repair off of the cost of the car. And, yes, now I owe her another $4,000, $3,000, $2,800. A car is mine. Great car. So any of you dipshit audience members that are suggesting that I make poor financial decisions, that is not true at all. I am incredibly stingy with my money, with the exception of the $187,000 motorhome that I am down to owing $142,000. So it's just the money is falling off big time. Now, of each monthly payment of $1,250, which I owe another 18 years, I think right now the way the interest is, I think about $6 is coming off of the principal of that $1,250. All right, so I'll say this. I don't nickel and dime with poor money management. I don't do that. But I have made a horrible big decision that is haunting me. Am I complaining? Of course not. There is only one thing to do, and that is sell the podcast. That is the one thing that is in my control, which is all I care about, is that I continue to be as brilliant as I am right now with you, and I continue to sell the show to Joe the Plumber and Joe Sixpack. That's how it works. Megan says, will you be donating enough money to Diana's fundraiser to buy her the trophy? That's the only thing I do with my money, is give it to her. Bread Bowl Brain Chris suggests that Nick could fix the vehicle with $17 and a couple packs of Newports. Alan says, the more you talk about the motorhome, the more it hurts me for you. LOL, 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 LOL. All right. So we're all on the same page here. Benny recovering, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Ultimately, I want you to think about Benny. Don't worry about the money. You can call me an idiot all you want, but it's very important that the dog survives. Nick says, false. Jim did go to college. He learned about solar systems. I will never let him live that down, ever. Cole adds, with more sticking his finger in my eye, when are you going to buy Jim and Madison's cars back? Cole says there's other cars for sale. You could get something else. Okay. I don't know how to explain this to you in more detail. First of all, the car that Jackie has is excellent. That's what you're forgetting. It's an excellent car. It's in great shape. And not every vehicle can be towed behind a motorhome with four wheels on the ground. That one in particular, you can. I know everything that's wrong with the car or right with the car. That has value. Do you follow me? What I'm paying for that car is probably a lot less than what I would pay if I was buying it off the street from some Joe Blow. Now, I've explained this to you, and I'm guessing you weren't listening, Cole. That's Cole in Colorado Springs, not Coal in Wayland, Michigan. You're probably not paying attention because you're firing off some crazy insult to your old pal EZ. Let's see. Will you be donating? Okay, yep, I already read that one. Sorry, my bad. Speaking of coal, COAL, whenever I talk about coal, I'm reminded of our pal Free Beer. Alan says, where has Cole, COAL, been? I don't know. I just talked to him yesterday. He's doing fine. I invited him to show up at the pinball orgy on February 21. So the plan is, if I could get Cole there with his lovely better half, Lisa, who is as pretty as a picture, and his kids, as well as his neighbor, fuckface, Matt H., and his kids, and his lovely better half, that would be awesome. February 21 at Pinball Land. We start at 1 p.m. It's a Saturday. 1 p.m. at the Corner Bar in Rockford, Michigan. We eat, we drink, we laugh, and then we wander down the street to Pinball Land. Megan says, oh my God, a group picture on your Facebook page would be such a messy thing to do. Do it. Well, I have lots of pictures, actually, of Cole, COAL, and Lisa and his kids from our adventures at Berlin Raceway that we have. Those are always fun. No, so, yeah, I'm trying to get Cole to commit and bring the kids, and that would be a fun group picture, and I would post it because the game has evolved quite a bit for various reasons that I am not going to talk about. That would drive some of the parties cuckoo bananas, which is fantastic. Rebecca says Cole, COAL, and his people are lots of fun. I had the pleasure of meeting them at Berlin. Ooh, you know, I'm glad you said that. I'm just reminded of that because just because you were there and witness to that, you might be subpoenaed. That's all I'll say. Because you were witness to what went down there when we were in the stands having a great time at Berlin. You and Jeremy both, you might need to be called in for something important. I'll talk to you off of the pod. First, I have to talk to Cole about that. And if you are needed for your eyewitness testimony, that would be fantastic. Because while you were there with us, you know, I don't know if there was anything that you saw, but I'm guessing it was just a normal adventure where we sat there and everything was really loud and we drank soda pop and had hot dogs. Did you go into the infield with Cole, COAL, Lisa, the kids, Matt H., Nicole, his kids, and me? We all went together, didn't we? You were with that pack, right? Or did you stay in the stands? I don't recall. That was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. Oh, you did? Yeah, you were there. You witnessed it. Okay. I don't want to say much because I don't want to say anything here that could be used against me. Not against me, but against Cole, Coal. But I'm so glad that you reminded me of that. I did not think about that for a second because, yeah, that's really interesting. I'll talk to you more about that off of the show. Megan says, so many things we aren't talking about here this week. Alan says, God damn. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God? I do. All right. Red Bull Brain Chris says he's blue balled. I know. It happens. Rebecca says this is why you all should visit Eric's sponsors. Like when I say, hey, I'm going over to Berlin, you got to come see me. Yeah, you never know how this could come back. Rebecca and Jeremy could have a front seat telling their tales in what would be a massive story. Huge. They would be a key player. I'm excited. I sure hope that happens. Because I want to go in there and tell the truth of whatever it is that I have to talk about. And I haven't really referenced this. This is probably the most descriptive I've been about this. Maureen says they could share with us since you can't. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I am in a courtroom and I am speaking, then it's on the record. I am going to talk about it here. I would provide regular updates to Patreon only. Eric Zane's, court testimony show on Patreon. That's what I would do. But I don't know when this is going to happen. I have no idea, if at anything. Okay. Enough of that. Thank you, as always, to the sponsors. So, if you have health care through the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, your premiums went up dramatically. You're like, what the hell am I going to do? Just drop my insurance? No. Like for us here at the house, when we, prior to January 1, I had a policy that was like a gold platinum policy. It was a very, very good policy. And when it came time for those subsidies to expire on January 1, I just changed the policy so I didn't pay so much because the premium was going to go up like $1,100 a month. So I had to modify my policy to one that was not nearly as expensive, and that's how I did that. And I was able to navigate all that because of Frank Fuss. Don't do this on your own. Have Frank help you with your healthcare.gov policy. And if you want to reach out to Frank, the only way to do this is to go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That is appointmentwithfrank.com. Frank will help you get into the right policy. Folks that take advantage of the Affordable Care Act are folks who might be in between jobs, perhaps they're self-employed, or the boss doesn't offer health care. Thank you so much to Frank. Thank you, as always, to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They keep our cars running great. Whenever I need a car repair, they do it. And then I hear from Nick, who will say, I know that Irvine said that in order to repair the car, you're going to have to do this, this, and this, and pay this. But if you let me go to Amazon and get this $3 part, and then I'll jizz on it, I can put it on your car, and it'll be running great. I always tell them thanks, but no thanks. I'd rather have the skilled technicians doing it for me than a skilled Timu car repair man / veterinary intensive care doctor take care of it for me. Thank you so much, though. Irvines at ervines.com. That's ervines.com. They have free loaner cars. They'll set you up with that. They're right in the middle of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the best. And I want you to find that out for yourself. You need anything as simple as an oil change, have them do it at Irvine's. Tyler says a show called Who Are These Court Testimonies? Great idea. Great idea. Becca Shea says, I feel like I'm out of the loop. Well, I kind of think everybody is. I haven't really talked about this. Bread Bowl Brain Chris says, yeah, livestock levels of ivermectin will fix anything pet, human, or automotive related. Alan is kind of a hillbilly, too, so he probably feels the same way. These ding-dongs are the guys who would be like, oh, boy, it's going to cost $7,000. Oh, I'm just not going to do it. The only way that I would ever, then that would be a terrible thing if you have to choose between eating your meals or saving the pet's life. Then I can understand if somebody has to make that awful decision to put the pet to sleep. I get that. Okay? But I don't have to do that because I'm fucking loaded. So that's why I always choose to like pay for these things. It's really not a big deal. All right? So that's how it goes. You know, if my money's going to go to anything, it's going to go to taking care of the pets. So y'all can just shut the hell up. Anyway. What else am I going to get into here? Okay. I am going to kick out my friends who are watching the show on Kick, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you so much for being here, but it is time for you to go. If you want the rest of the show, it's on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Go there, give yourself a username, comment on the show when you subscribe. Otherwise, you don't have to subscribe. Just follow it so you know when I go live. If you are not subscribed, you'll see a commercial every now and again. That helps pay the bills for me. If you want to skip the commercials, you got to subscribe. You can do it free with your Amazon Prime, or you can throw $5-6 a month at it, and then you can do it that way. Alan says, I had a mutt. She only lived to be 4. I spent almost $4,000 on her before the vet suggested the Rainbow Bridge. Right, but I mean, you got to think about like quality of life. David continues to rub my nose and shit, buying cars multiple times. No matter what I say, no one listens to me. It's just the same ridiculous take, even though I explained it to you morons. All right. Also, sign up for Patreon to get, I already have posted the audio of yesterday's Who Are These Free Beers show. And also the audio of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I have already posted those. I posted a free clip, and I posted it to Facebook of the latest Who Are These Free Beers. And if you see it there, click on it and listen to it. Because it features a clip that Ben and I had a good laugh at of free beer. I actually felt bad for Hot Wings. I mean, Hot Wings, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. He, I think how he doesn't rock the boat has kept him employed as that show continues to live off of the legacy that I created for it. Okay? I say that without any hyperbole. him not rocking the boat is smart because he doesn't have any qualities when it comes to broadcasting. He's just not good at it. That being said, he's affable and nice. He just sucks. Free Beer asks him a question. He goes to answer it, and Free Beer interrupts him and then just, lets him have it with a sucker punch. And it's brutal. You have to hear this. It's right on the top of my Facebook page right now. You won't believe what he did to him. God damn it. And Hot Wings, to his credit, kept cool. And I don't know how he does that. I would want to kick that fucking idiot's ass. Jesus Christ. So check that out on my Facebook. And then that'll give you an idea as to what that show sounds like. And then you can get the whole show for free on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I've set it up so there's a 7-day free trial on it. That's how MAGA Pat got wind of my show, but he's a huge pussy because that bitch got butthurt because he didn't like a crack that I made about Trump, like the bitch that he is. It's like, you asshole. I've made cracks about everybody. Well, you know what I'm learning lately? Is there are some people in MAGA who are a little bit too sensitive. They should have thicker skin. Everybody should have thicker skin. A lot of my audience members, in fact, some that are here right now that voted for Trump, they know that I don't have any political allegiance whatsoever. I couldn't care less. I talk shit about Trump. I talk shit about the asshole Democrats. And my vote is for sale in the next presidential and gubernatorial elections. All right. David says, I met Hot Wings once. He came across as a nice guy. He is. Rebecca says, Greg is a dickhole. I agree. Everybody thinks that. That's why he doesn't have any fucking friends. That's why they don't like him. I'm telling you. When you hear what Greg does to Hot Wings on this clip, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And then like a week later, he'll be like, oh, nobody wants to be my friend. How come when I leave, you guys talk bad about me? The best thing that can happen is if Greg's ever not there, and I guess he wasn't there again today, if you send the show an email and just write, boy, they have a lot more fun when you're gone. Oh, does he get pissed? Have at it, I say. All right. That is it. Thank you, audience members on Kick, Facebook, and YouTube. The